Now let's tell you about the stories moving up the internet as a whole. Joining me tonight is Elena Viru, the lifestyle editor for handbag.com. Elena, welcome to our programme.
Thanks
for being with us tonight. We're going to talk about Sacha Baron Cohen. Now, when he starts filming, we get into all sorts of scrapes, don't we?
I can't believe people haven't caught on by now that this is what he's up to, that he's always up to pranks. But basically what's happened is he's in Arkansas, and there was a cage fight advertised. I think it was called Blue Collar Brawling, with hot girls, cold beer, cheap beer, and fights. But what it ended up being was a gay sex show. So the residents and people who were visiting the show weren't too happy about that, and a brawl started, beer was thrown, and
again, do we get any clues? Does he tell people this is actually for a Baron
Cohen movie? He hasn't admitted it, no.
No.
And basically, consent to being in it was if you were in there, that consented that you would be filmed. But they didn't know that's what they were being filmed for.
And he's playing a camp hairdresser or something, isn't that the
character? I think it's for the Bruno film, yeah.
OK. Why is it the end of the famous sandwich board? What's happened to that?
Well, Westminster Council is next month introducing legislation to ban sandwich boards from Oxford Street. Which is a bit sad, really. I think I don't know if it's
part of the structure for years.
Yeah, and it seems like most of the sandwich board men don't seem to know this is happening. So it's kind of a rough deal for them, because if they do get caught, they will be fined £2,500.
Right. I don't envy the job though, just hanging around all day wearing a board.
I don't know if this will outlaw, people dressed as chickens and things like that. That'd be sad to see that go.
Maybe it's just the boards. Now, the web has responded to the photoshopping of those Iranian missile pictures. Tell us about this.
Well, apparently there was a fourth missile added to the picture, and they did quite a bad photoshopping job, as anybody could. If you took a close look at it, you could see that it was replicated and quite badly. But it was still printed in a number of news sources and on the front page of many major newspapers and online. But it's a fake. There was only 3. So I think
we believe the authoritative source photograph was 3 missiles going off and 1 failing to launch, don't we?
Yes.
Then the Iranian news agency, or Iran, put out the one with all 4 going off. And the ones they've done now, even the mock-up ad for AT&T, just extraordinary.
Yeah.
But as you rightly say, the photoshopping was pretty crude. It was very obvious it had been done, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it did. It just looked like they basically copied one and then copied it. The smoke clouds billowed exactly in the same spot, which
my 8-year-old boy could probably do a better job.
Probably.
Right? OK, now why is the Battle of the World's Hottest Curry hotting up?
Well, apparently the Cinnamon Club, which is kind of MP's favourite kind of curry place because it's near Whitehall, has created the Bollywood Burner, which is being submitted to the Guinness Book of World Records for being the hottest curry. But there's a restaurant in Newcastle which has the original hottest curry, which is called Curry Hell. And people like Steve-O from the show Jackass have tried it. So they're kind of battling it out now to see which one is the hottest curry. Curry Hell is disputing that Bollywood Burner is hotter. So how you decide, I don't know.
Don't know. Have an A-B comparison, I suppose. Now, an unusual hijacking to finish with tonight. Tell us about this.
A very unusual hijacking. Police were called to a convenience store in Las Vegas, I believe, because a naked man had stolen beer. They arrived there, and by that time, the naked man had punched a hole into the window of a bus, threw the driver out, and drove the bus about 200 yards before police were finally able to stop him. OK. Now, this is Chris in graphics using his imagination to exactly what happened. We don't have the actual video. Well, there's the bus arriving, and you see the opening the door, and there he is. Sans clothes. But that looks pretty accurate, I think.
He's forgotten to put his seatbelt on as well, which is
dangerous, very dangerous.
Yeah. OK, thank you very much indeed, Elena, for being our guest tonight from handbag.com.